come on up, Miss Dawn Cochran. Dawn's going to lead us tonight in the prayers. This young lady has been working for the county for 25 years, and she started at the ripe old age of 17. She was still in Fannin County High School and did the work program for the great price of $4.75 an hour. So I think we got a bargain with her. And we appreciate her. She's a chief appraiser now. Worked her way up the ladder and goes to Bethel Church in Mobile. Woman of faith, and we're going to let her lead the prayer right now. Thank you, Dawn.
If everybody will join me in the prayer, Lord. Lord, we just thank you for having the opportunity to speak tonight, Lord, and I thank you for the growth in myself to be able to speak tonight, because I know there was a time where I would probably turn this down. And I thank you for a wonderful county. I thank you for a wonderful administration. It makes a difference, Lord. And Lord, I just ask that you go with this meeting and that your will be done, and you just lead, guide, and direct us through this meeting. And we just ask, Lord, that you watch over our school system, Lord, and be with our kids and our administrators there. And we thank you for keeping them safe today and sending them back home. And we just ask that you place a hedge of protection around the Fannin County employees and just keep us all safe and healthy and allow us to continue to do the jobs that we have at hand, Lord. And again, I just thank you for the blessing of Fannin County, because Fannin is a different place. It's a special place, and we thank you for having it here and being there for us, Lord. And we just ask, Lord, that you just lead, guide, and direct us. And we ask all these blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge of allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, under unfinished business, number 2, approve the minutes of the September 13th, 2022 regular scheduled board meeting. Commissioner Searcy, any errors or omissions in the minutes you read?
No, sir.
Commissioner Patterson?
No, sir, Mr. Hanson. I'm fine.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the September 13th, 2022 regular scheduled board meeting. I'll make that motion. Ask for a second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I don't get to use black, so you got to use, she made me use blue. Okay. I see how it works.
All right, still under unfinished business, number 3. It's the board discussion or action of variance request from Fred Glennon and Helen Johnstone. This was tabled from a previous board meeting of September 13th. I see Mr. Glennon's here this evening. Thank you for coming. Gentlemen, as I went out there to discuss we had some safety issues. Was the biggest thing that I had on my plate when we were talking about it last time. So I went out and spoke with Mr. Glennon. After talking with him, finding out exactly what he was looking to do, and turning around and looking down the road, I think that was the difference. Yeah. So Mr. Glennon actually was able to cut some saplings down and made that going from like a 20-foot visual to a 100-foot, seemed like it. So I think he's addressed those safety concerns that we had last meeting. So Commissioner Patterson, any thoughts on this?
No, sir. I think it's fine now. Like you say, a lot of improvements there, and I think it'll work out fine. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm good with it, Mr. Chairman.
All right. I'll ask for a motion that we approve the variance request from Fred Glennon and Helen Johnstone.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Ask for a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 4, under new business, is the board discussion action on a variance request from Rick and Alexis Lovett to approve existing location of house 12 feet from property line, 13 feet from the edge of the present road, and 23.7 feet from the center line of Lindsay Lane. And the construction did not meet previous variance approval. Any discussion on this, gentlemen?
Is that on this one corner right there where it's 13.1?
It's at the cul-de-sac, right?
It is.
That's the cul-de-sac area right there?
Yes, they have room to do one more.
Okay.
That's the cul-de-sac area. And we have a letter from the owner on the other side,
Yeah.
right, Chairman? Ms. Baloo?
Yes, Ms. Blue.
I see no problem with it, Chairman. I went out and looked at it the other day.
Mr. Searcy?
No, sir, I had no, other than that, I was just wondering about that on the side where the cul-de-sac was.
Ms. And I'll ask for a motion to approve the variance request for Rick and Alexis Love.
I'll make that motion, Chairman.
I will make a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5 will be board discussion or action on variance request from Mr. and Ms. Matthews to build 40.6 feet from the edge of Twin Peaks Drive and 49.6 feet from the center line of Twin Peaks Drive.
Now, they've got already started, they got the foundation and walls already constructed. Up there.
I went out there today and, I looked at that, it looked good to me. It was setting far enough back and every house in that development was set basically the same way.
Yeah, there are some houses back.
It's
Yeah.
just,
It's the same deal.
it looks uniformed, I mean,
Right.
I understand we thought it was didn't think it was a county road, thought it was a subdivision.
they did not, yeah, but it is a county road.
Right.
For construction,
Mm.
went farther than.
And they got, I think Jody went out there and he permitted it, and, he didn't see nothing wrong with it.
All right. Any other discussion on this, gentlemen?
I have none.
Okay. I'll ask for a motion that we approve the variance request for Mr. and Ms. Matthews.
I make that motion.
I'll ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Well, I tell you what, I've been out there, but that's beautiful view.
Pretty up
I've never
there.
seen it up there. One of the best views in Fannin County.
All right. So number 6, under new business, we have EMA Director Becky Huffman. Purchase equipment for, it's called power loads for the med units.
We had the opportunity to demo some power loads, which is a piece of equipment that goes in the back of the ambulances that pretty much takes away any lifting on our part to put patients into the back of the trucks. We demoed those for free. It's coming up on time for us to either decide if we want to purchase them or let the company take them back. So I wanted to approach y'all about possibly going ahead and buying some for our ambulances. I feel like it'd be a good purchase. It would also be good for the employees. They would pretty much eliminate, like I said, it eliminates any lifting on our part to put a patient into the back of the truck unless there's that one, you know, I think they said that there's about a 10% chance that it won't actually work in the terrain that we have, but, I feel like a 90% chance of it working is a pretty good percentage for us. They're a little bit on the more expensive side when it comes to what we currently have, which is just the load system where we pick it up, we pick up the weight of the stretcher and the patient, put it into the back of the truck. And the system that we currently have, all it does is charge the stretcher. It doesn't do anything else. So this would be, with our department, having some older people in the department. We've got several that are in their 50s or older. This would help them out quite a bit. And we've had I talked to a bunch of counties that are around here that's kind of went to these, and it seems like they said that for the cost of one workers' comp, it would cover the cost of all of power loads for us. Y'all had a chance to come out and look at them and saw a little demonstration. Patrick's got a video of that demonstration for anybody that wants to see it, and for Mr. Searcy, who wasn't able to join us. So you can kind of see the video is of one of our smaller paramedics loading a larger person on there. They're pretty much double her size, and she's able to do it with single-handedly without any help. So it's a pretty big benefit.
What does these units cost a piece?
Well, they kind of run right around $20,000 a piece. We're requesting 4. One of them is the current demo, and it's a little bit it's cheaper because it came as a new unit, and now that we've demoed it, they can't resell it, so they've discounted it to about $17,000 total. There's a cost in there we added in the extended warranty on it, which covers anything. We have that on our stretchers, and we've had it this is a 6-year warranty. And we can pretty much, it could be run over by a Mack truck, and they'll completely replace it without any cost to us.
What's the company's name?
It's Stryker. That's who we have our stretchers through. That's who we have our stair chairs through that we bought last year. For the cost that we have, which is $134,000, it would supply 4 power loads for all of our trucks, the frontline trucks that we currently have. It would get the stretchers that we have up to date so that they would function with that. We wouldn't have to purchase new stretchers, and that includes the additional extended warranty on them.
I'd like to see the demo.
It's pretty impressive.
I
Yeah.
think,
It was impressive.
I think Patrick's got it.
Zach, get that light. Thank you.
Back in those Becky Callahan knows she's about my height.
About 100
and
pounds.
About 100 pounds less than I am, maybe a little more.
No Darren there should have been nice with.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah. So that locks in at the top.
It does. We get the green light. Once you get the green light, that indicates that it's in the position it needs to be in. And then she uses one hand. same thing to unload.
So at that point, they can not hit the button, they grab the other end of that, both of them approximately on the
Press.
side. Lift and go on.
That's- we-
Currently.
Currently, yes, currently it takes two of us to load because you have to hold the weight of the patient and the weight of the stretcher, which is 135 pounds by itself. So with this, once you get the green lights on each side, it will load itself pretty much. You just have to, it'll lift itself, it can hold over over 700 pounds extended. So that's 700 pounds and not including the weight of the stretcher. So it'll hold out extended for any amount of time. They said since these have been in place, and it's been, I think they've been around for about 10 years, they've never had one fail. As long as you get the green lights, they said they've never had one fail.
So how many ambulances you have?
We've got 7 ambulances, but we're only asking to equip 4, which is our frontline med units.
Where are they stationed at? Blue
It'd
Ridge
be
and
Blue Ridge,
Kaysville?
McCaysville, up in Suches, and then one in Morganton.
Okay.
My hope is that we could either purchase it out of SWASH or ARPA money. I don't know. I don't currently have it in my budget for this. This wasn't an item that we were looking at purchasing, this year, so I don't know where you would want to pull that from if we could, but
What was the amount again?
it's 134,229.93. That's for everything. That's for all 4 of the power loads. Any upgrade that we needed to make to any of the other stretchers that we have, and they had to have a little bit of an anchor extension for the cords that are in the current trucks that we have.
Did you get the other 2 ambulances in?
We did. They're already out in service and been inspected by the state, and everybody seems to really enjoy them. They came with a step, and that seems to be, it wasn't supposed to be on there, but that seems to be their most favorite feature, is it's got a step on the side, so you don't have to climb up into the ambulance as much, so. But they've been a real big benefit because we've had some other issues with some of our older trucks that they're able to repair now because those trucks are in service, so.
Okay.
That 134,229 includes the maintenance.
It does.
6 years. 6 years.
It does.
And it comes with a 2-year.
It does. It starts with a 2-year. It should be a total of 8 years is the way they explained it to me. Which, like I said, we've had such good service out of Stryker, anything that we have an issue with, they're here within a day to fix. They know kind of what, they're used to what our type of business is, so they try to make sure that we've got our equipment ready to go if we need it. So we've never had any complaint about their service at all. We've had Stryker for several years.
I think in the long run, it'd help. It would benefit our employees, cut down on the injuries, like you said, and save us money as well. But the main thing is the employees, keeping them safe. And also, it'd be attractive for some of us to get new employees.
Yeah.
With something like that.
It would save them, like over the years, we've used the manual stretchers and now we've gotten the power stretchers.
Right.
The older ones like me have been here for so long that, we've already started with the back injuries, but if we can prevent back injuries in the newer people that are coming in, it would be a benefit to them too. It would be kind of a benefit for anybody that's coming into work. They wouldn't have to build up any muscles or anything. We can kind of work them into that if we need to.
Just having the equipment,
Yeah.
having the equipment to serve the public better
Oh,
too.
yeah.
That means a lot.
I was gonna say, yeah, as long as you don't drop one of those people.
Well, you can drop them on anything. I mean, you go out there and pick up some, I've been on calls like that with you, and it's some of them, it's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand it.
It would also make it a little bit easier. Everybody's busy. We don't have to wait on help to come help us load somebody into the back of the
Yeah.
truck. With this, we can do it with just 2 people or 1 person.
Okay.
If the board wishes to use the ARPA, you can use the ARPA money for that.
I think we ought to do good addition.
It's a government service, so.
I think, we had some money allocated out of ARPA, but I know you showed me the amount of public safety SPOS, and I think we would.
Whichever the board
benefit us
wishes.
to come out of ARPA.
We can't hear your discussion.
I said, and I apologize, I said it would be better to come out of ARPA if we could do that. So, my apologies. So that being said, do we have any more discussion on that?
I'm good.
I know.
We're trying to get it over here where it's in front of him and not to the side. I can't stand these things, I ain't gonna lie to you, can't stand them. All right, if there's no more discussion on this, I'll make a motion that we purchase, 4 power loads in the amount of $134,229.93 to be paid by the American Rescue Plan funds, ARPA funds. I'll make that motion, ask for a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
How long
Can
we
you explain that fund? You
Yeah.
used to be taking out of such a fund, could you explain the fund?
Yeah, it was the American Rescue Plan funds that we received last year. And that was, the federal funds that come down to the state level. Each county got a portion based on their, population, I believe is what
They
it was
did.
based on.
Mr. Bond, every state received these funds, federal funds. So every state in the US received these funds, every county,
And every county
based
received
on population.
based on population, yeah.
And Mr. Bond, there's certain requirements that they have to meet to get the ARPA funds. So it's not everything that we can get ARPA for, but this is one that certainly.
It's got to do with public safety.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, number 7, we have Public Works Director Zach Ratcliffe with board discussion action on paving of roads. I know Zach has been with us on a phone a time or two, but, this is the first time he's been back. So we're thankful to have him, since, I think you said April. So we're thankful to have him.
I'm glad to be back, thank you. I've got 3 roads that I'd like to pave, and, these gonna be, y'all gonna have to stay real close with me on these things. I put out a quote, I got a quote on the roads, and the first one's gonna be for William Creek, and we'll go from Asper Road out to Deer Crest. And this is gonna be a little different than what we normally do, this money will be coming from, or payment will be coming out of SPOS. And, we're gonna go from, like I said, from, Asper Road to Deer Crest. We're going Earl Johnson Paving, I got a quote from him, and he is gonna he's gonna pave it, I'm gonna buy the materials. That's pretty much cut and dry. He's gonna haul material that's in this quote. He'll tack it, he'll do the label and put it in lay it for us. The quotes were $98,845.50. That's for that one particular road.
Zach, is that number right there, that 4.11, is that the length of the pavement as far as the miles of it?
I think that's what that is, yeah. Exactly. Installation.
Okay.
And that's, with that being said, we're looking at Weaver Creek here. It's going, and here's the beauty of this deal that we got going here. I'm gonna buy the asphalt. If I let the contractor buy the asphalt, he's got to be charged a sales tax, or tax through the asphalt. County don't pay sales tax. So, in these 3 jobs, and I'll get to this number at the end of this thing, because I'm gonna surprise you with what the savings on sales tax is gonna be. But, we will end up spending, on the Weaver Creek job was $220,000 for asphalt. This is gonna be, like I said, I'm paying for the asphalt. Or we'll do the laying down, okay? We're gonna step up to the next road, which will be Stewart County Point. And, it's, the labor on that and the hauling and the laying of that is $28,730. $35. And the material on the Stewart County Road is $52,500. Again, I'm paying for that, not coming out of this. This will be a whole different separate thing from what else gets paid. And the third one is Snake Nation Road, and it's gonna be $82,126.02. And with Snake Nation Road, it's gonna be $175,000 of asphalt. With me paying for it, the asphalt, and saving the 7% sales tax on that thing, it's gonna be saving us about $31,325. That's a pretty good savings
There
to
is.
do that.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna give this a try. I think it's gonna be a good thing. It's good for us. I think it's gonna be a good deal.
So that's a lot of miles we're paving, ain't it?
Yeah, yeah. And we already talked about paving that in-house, and I can't keep the spreader going, everything just falling on pieces, because we've been using it like crazy, doing other stuff with it. This will get these roads paved, and he can knock those things up maybe a couple of weeks max, if weather's good.
For the winter?
Yep. Cut Cane Road most likely be finished possibly tomorrow, and, that's about, 9 miles of road there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, that'll be finished tomorrow.
So we're looking at trying to start up soon as we finish Cut Cane.
He's got a job he's gotta go do, next week possibly, but the next week after, the following week, he'll be on top of this. But these are gonna be three, I don't know how y'all wanna go about voting on these three, but there's 3 quotes, I don't know if you wanna do them.
Can we just do them as one, Lynn?
Yeah, you can.
Why don't we do them as one? It's a project.
I'm okay with,
These are over 100,000.
Yeah, each one's under,
Yeah.
each road's under.
If I'm doing it together, does that change things or not?
That's what I was wondering about. They say,
Well, let's just be sure in case anybody.
Individually?
Yeah, looking at it 5 years
Yeah.
from now and saying, why is this over 100,000?
right,
Okay.
that's pretty good savings of $31,000.
Yeah. Anytime you say, and this is all squash.
Everything.
Okay. All squash.
Yep,
Thank you, squash.
yep, okay.
All right, gentlemen, any discussion on this?
No, sir.
I have none.
All right, we'll start with the Weaver Creek. I'll ask for a motion that we approve $98,845.50 to have Johnson Paving pay Weaver Creek from Astor to Deer Crest Heights. I'll ask for that motion, or ask for a motion,
Make a motion.
ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so the second one will be Stewart Camp Point. I'll make a motion that we approve $28,735 to Johnson Paving for Stewart Camp Point. I'll make that motion, ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The last one on this one would be Snake Nation Road. I'll ask for a motion that we approve $82,126.02 to Johnson Paving. I'll ask for that motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys, and I know those folks on those roads, we really appreciate that.
You doing, or no, you're doing that,
Widening, no, we're not doing widening on this one. All right, we're getting this one in right now, so we can get it in. Widening, because probably the thing we're dealing with Christmas, trying to get that in right now. We can always go back, that's no problem going back and doing that.
what about the striping?
Dropping will come a little later.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about striping, I do have that grant that we were talking about a year ago or better. We let that contract, Peak Paving, or not paving, but Peak Striping. They're doing striping, probably tonight to be finished up, they're working at night. So
on Salem.
Salem Road.
On the logo.
Yep. They'll come back and all the county roads that's paved coming into those roads, we're gonna put a thermoplastic stop bar at each one of them. I went ahead and added that in to get it in there, so that'll be part of it. So it's all life safety.
Sure, there's another grant for these roads.
Yeah, hey, look.
There's one other motion we do have to make. We still have to approve the materials.
Yeah.
So,
You got it?
was it 447?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve $447,500 to buy the materials to complete these roads. I'll make that motion, ask for a second.
I say,
All in favor?
All right, now, thank you guys.
All right.
thank you. Thank you, Zach. Keep the roads good.
Yep, we're working on it.
All of them sure will be eligible. Okay, number 8, we have Larry Thomas, our fire chief. Discussion on some turnout gear. Yeah, don't fill the bottle, don't you?
Anyway, good afternoon. Yes, I'm here to ask for a little help on some turnout gear. We're looking at 13 sets. We're looking, actually, it may be just a little bit over, but the way he wrote it up, we started out with about $46,000 worth of gear, but we seen that the $30,354.35 was gonna get us through this last class. This class that's actually graduating here in the next little while.
How much is that?
$30,354.35.
And that's for 13 sets?
13 sets, and,
Larry, why don't you back up just a minute, tell us what this turnout gear, what it is, just give us some
the
background on it.
that's what we use when we go into a house fire. It's the coat, the pants, the suspenders, and then the boots come separate. He didn't have any boots in this, but we're pretty good on the boots right now, and the helmets. But yeah, it's just a little bit more if you add all that into it. But these, the way he's got it set up right now, the better quote come in from Fire Safety USA, and we're looking at $2,294 per set. And that's coat, pants, and suspenders.
What about gloves and stuff?
We're good on those.
And you said that was about what, a piece?
$22.94.
22.4?
$22.94.
94.
Yes, sir.
And so this is a class that has went through your training and they're graduating and you're,
Correct. Trying to get them in some newer and updated gear. And the Inotex gear does have a 2PP rating of 44. That's the thermal protection rating that's set on this gear. The other stuff, he never did put a TPP on it, but I think it's just right at 40. So it's gonna have even a greater flash point on it.
what it's doing now?
It's static electricity.
I'm electrified.
You won't get electrified.
So the higher rating on that, the better, right?
Yes, sir. Okay, yeah. And 44 is about as high as you can go with.
Okay.
I'll try not to touch the podium.
Larry, did you tell us where we're gonna get this money from?
No, I did not. I don't.
You don't have any idea?
I can just about say that I don't have it in the budget to do it with.
What was the full amount again?
$30,354.35.
What we got in our public safety?
Yeah, we got plenty in public safety, that's what I would suggest to do, because I know.
long does this stuff normally last?
10 years.
Ooh, that's good. 10 years.
Unless they get in and tear it or something like that, you know, that's unforeseen accident.
Well, these graduates put in the work.
Yes, sir.
They need something to work with,
That's right, 300 plus hours.
300+ hours.
But no boots, you said?
He said he had boots and gloves and
Good
that.
on boots, gloves, and helmets.
So small, you just small, helmet's not too long ago.
Yes, sir, yeah, we actually got a grant, back about April, I think it was, that we got that, so.
All right. Gentlemen, any other discussion on this?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I'll ask for a motion that we approve $30,354.35, excuse me, to be paid out of public safety SPOS for 13 sets of turnout gear. I'll make that motion, ask for a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
How long is that gonna be before that gets here?
Oh, yeah, and that was another one of the reasons too that we wanted to go with this different one. They're giving us a 6 to 10 week out. The other one was 150 days out, so 5 months versus 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's higher TPP rated too,
Higher, yes.
so it seems to be a little bit better equipment and bigger equipment.
A little bit tougher, yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Okay, number 9 is a board discussion action on adoption of the 2022 millage rate.
Yay.
What this is gonna be is a resolution for us to adopt, the county millage rate. We made a recommendation at our last meeting, we had a call meeting actually. And our county millage rate would go to 2.755. We know after, today that, the Board of Education's millage rate is gonna be 7.439, which brings us to a total millage rate of 10.194. Any discussion on this, gentlemen?
What did we have last year at the end?
14.02,
So we brought it down considerably.
almost 4 mils.
It's good.
It's, that is by far the lowest in the state of Georgia, I believe, at this point in time.
Can't beat that.
Commissioner Searcy, anything on that?
Happy to vote on it.
All right. I'll make a motion that we accept the resolution for the Fannin County millage rate, for the year 2022. That the total millage rate, with the county and the Board of Education combined to be 10.194. I'll make that motion and ask for a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good job.
Okay, that brings us down to public commentary. Anybody like to say something, please raise your hand, come up. Yes, ma'am.
I'm afraid to get close.
Yeah, you're all right. It was Larry.
There might be lightning bolts coming down,
It was Larry, it ain't you, it's him.
so electrifying. Okay, my name is Jan Eaton, and I've been here a while, but, yeah. I'm just here for a couple of things. I have spoken with, Commissioner Hensley already, so he kind of already knows where I am on this, but I really wanted to speak to Mr. Patterson and Mr. Searcy at the same time too. I think we've been really patient about animal control. We've been without a department head for a year and a half. And I think that our county probably would never let another department go a year and a half without a department head. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's time. I think in light of the fact that animal control is jammed full, and it's floundering. I mean, it's just, the people there are doing the very best they can. We just need some strong leadership over there to get it all headed in the right direction. The people there are willing to do, I've been over there, I mean, you know, they're doing what they can, but I think we need leadership, we need a department head, and it takes all three of you, and I really think you owe it to our county, you were elected to serve our county, and I do believe that we've waited long enough, and that's all I'll say about that, and y'all can discuss that. But, secondly, in light of an employee who has left animal control now, we're back to my singing the same song in the second verse, in that I asked months ago for Fannin County to have its own Facebook page so the animals could be featured, the animals who are at animal control. Now this employee is no longer there and was the administrator of a, quote, volunteer page, so it's gone by the wayside. They're continuing to take in dogs, and they're just there. I mean, you know, we know that people can go there to look, but where I kind of fit in on this, I'm not an employee, but I'm willing to help a little bit, and I think we've got some folks at Animal Control who are willing to learn. From all I can gather, it's pretty impressive. We're going to try to start moving some animals out via transport, and our people who will be receiving the animals need to be able to take a look at them. And so it's very difficult that, and our citizens need to know who's over there. So I'm just asking if the county could please set up a county page where the county holds the password and the county holds the page and dictates what goes on. You know, just factual, put the dogs on there, we went over this before, you know, when they came in, what part of the county they came from, you know, a few basic facts, let that be it. And, I know we can't control the comments that people might make, you can't delete them, I know, I understand, but you can ignore them, at least let's get the dogs out there, and I know it's getting ready to explode, I know it is. But anyway, that's all I'm asking for, and I just appreciate if we could get a department head in there. I think we're gonna see it rock and roll over there if we can get these animals rolling. I have a group already waiting up in Northern Virginia that I'm very familiar with, a very large, very well-funded group, who is willing to take our dogs. I actually got a message back from her, I don't know if I talked to you since I did, and she came back and said, sure, I'll take them. And I've already talked to Luke and the guys over at Animal Control, and I think I don't want to speak for them, but I think we can get them on board. I think they're pretty glad about that. We've already got three already determined who will be going to South Florida as soon as this dreaded storm gets past. They were supposed to go Monday, but of course that's having to be put on hold until after the storm. But we'll get them moving, and you know, maybe I can kind of show them, because I've done that for 20 years. Teach them. I don't want to do it, but I want to teach them, and then they can do it. Teach them to fish.
So you're not putting your name in the hat, is that what you're saying?
I'm happy to help move animals. That's sort of my shtick, and I'll help you. And I think you've got people that are fully capable of taking it over, but you know, let's just get some groundwork laid and let them get the feel for it, and it'll work. And I don't want to make any wild predictions, but I think when the public sees you doing that and moving and taking good care of them, sending them to great groups, I think the donations will come too. I think you'll be pleased. That's what we always found to happen. My philosophy is if you're doing what's right for the animals, the money will come.
Yeah.
And that pretty much did. So let's dip into, you know, whatever kind of money you got over there for that department head, and let's get us a qualified department head in there. That's what we need to lead this crew. And, you know, let's pay them enough that they want to come. I know you've put in a department head since this one became vacant, and that person was paid $55,000 a year. And
Well, as you know, we did have a gentleman hired, and his parents talked him into moving out of state.
New York.
And so we, you know, I just want you to understand, we are committed to trying to find that
let's
person.
get them in there. Let's do it, though. Let's do it. We've waited a year and a half, and I'm getting impatient, and I'm ready for us to rock this thing and roll it.
And Jan, we are too, and I love dogs and everything, and you know, when Harley, I went up there and adopted my dog from Animal Control, and when Harley passed, it's just been hard to go back up there and get another one. but I love dogs
I
too.
understand.
And, the thing about it is that I know what you're saying when you say people say things, but, and I do ignore it, because nobody knows my heart like I know my heart, and I know these guys, and I can tell you that if there was one thing that I would love to see go smooth is animal control.
No.
And, because I would like to get the right person in there. I think Luke and his staff does a good job. We got some good people.
I agree.
But I know there's upgrades that needs to be in everything. That's just like Becky and them and Larry and them coming up here. We're trying to help everything that we can to upgrade to help our citizens in this county. And animal control is a main issue too for me.
Good, thank you.
So,
Let's get us a good department head in there, and
And we're
like I say,
trying.
you've got people there. I watched the other day when I was there, and I know I'm probably running over my time,
you know,
but I went in to kind of look it over, and we pulled, I didn't pull, someone who has a license pulled. I don't have a license anymore, so I'm all legal, just so you know that. But anyway, I made sure that 3 dogs got pulled, and I wanted to have one of them need to be heartworm tested, so our group would say yea or nay. And I watched Luke do that, and he is so gentle. I mean, it took a little bit, and it would have taken anybody a little bit under the circumstances, but, you know, it was very impressive. And, so, I think we could get it rolling
we're going
and
to.
get this going, and let's get us a good director in there who can have the vision to move this thing forward, and I'll help get them started on transports and hand it over to them, and that'll be great, and you'll just see good things happen. They won't have 35 dogs in an 18-dog facility. That's terrible for the employees and the animals, I think. It's just overload, and we keep them rolling.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good
Good evening.
My name's Libby Young, and this is sort of part B to what, I'm standing far away from that thing. Kind of part B, but I was glad to hear that there were funds available in the public safety bucket, if you will. In order to get these dogs out of the shelter, things are done a little differently than what they were in decades past. Shelters now, animal control facilities will often work together. They work with rescues, and then they figure out routes. And if you want to be part of the circuit, you know, if you want to get rid of 8 dogs out of animal control, you partner with Walker County, or you partner with Gilmer, or you know, Gordon, whoever. And, you know, they will work on coordinating efforts to get these dogs out. So that like Walker County, I was just there last week picking up a dog and transporting it to Rome. They have room for 80 dogs in their facility. They're overloaded too, so they have 120. They have 3 people taking care of those 80 dogs, or 120 dogs, because the other 2 employees were on a transport going up to New England. Now, New England has better dog laws than Georgia. They have more enforcement, you know, which I will start hammering on here too as well. But you have to put them on a truck. And what a lot of these animal controls do is they have their own van, and instead of taking one van multiple trips, they do it one after another. They'll use walkers the first time, they'll consolidate the dogs on there, they'll go do their run, and then the next month they'll use Gilmer's, they'll use Gordon's, they'll use ours, you know, but that's how you get it done. You know, you gotta get part of it, because right now we have, I think 35 dogs, which is almost double. So all of these these runs, if you haven't been over there recently, the dogs on the inside of the building, they have that guillotine door closed, and there's a dog on the outside. Now, the weather's been okay right now, but it's not gonna be for long. So we have to hustle and get these dogs out. And we also need someone who's actually going to coordinate those dogs. So we gotta get, you know, like Jan said, you gotta get a department head in there who knows how to do this. And the rescues right now don't know who to call because Donna's no longer there. And so, you know, words, you know, news travels fast. And so now they're saying, well, who do we call? Well, they don't have time. They don't have the luxury of time to look up whoever it is. They'll just go on to the next animal control and take their dogs. So we kind of got to get with the program on getting these dogs out of here because it's getting kind of scary over there. And they're working way too hard. It's pointing at you, Luke. But that was pretty much what I was wanting to discuss. But thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Libby.
Mr. Bond.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is James Bond, and I live in Fannin County. We can come up here week after week, every 2 weeks, and tell y'all what's going on from our point of view in Fannin County Animal Control. I challenge each one of you for the next month to go over there 2 days a week. You go 2 days, you go 2 days, you go 2 days, and do your own assessment as far as what's going over there, and determine from that whether what we suggest is the way this county wants to move forward or not move forward. Since Donna has left, things have went backwards from when John Gulliger was there. Nowadays, the way it was until Donna quit helping taking care of it, was the dog had to be fixed and neutered and get its rabies shot before it left the facility. It wasn't a trust you situation. Now it is 7 days for them to get a rabies vaccination, 30 days to be fixed or neutered. Now you got the county and they're gonna be having to check up and see if that has actually happened. The county needs to take care of it before the dog leaves the facility, not be checking up afterwards. That's all I've got. Go over there and look at the situation, see what you think.
Let me ask you a question on the 30 days. Is that just us not doing it for 30 days, or is that like, would that be like the clinics? Hey, there's a 30-day waiting period.
No,
I mean,
no.
so you can go, I can make an appointment tomorrow.
Should be
Get
able
that
to.
done.
It was being handled that way before. They write on the contract now that they're letting a dog out under, unfixed, saying you have 30 days to get the dog fixed. That should be done before they leave the facility. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to say something? You can, yeah.
I'm not trying to dominate
No, no.
this thing.
No.
You know, I just can't hush. I'm trying not to talk, but I can't help it. I agree with James. A contract really is not worth the paper it's written on, because we had this situation it's been several months ago. We had 2 little purebred Australian cattle dog puppies over there, and someone wanted both of them, even though we had them going to ACD rescue, but we handed them over to somebody under contract, and because they were too young to be spayed or neutered, and then voila, the female ran off. You know, I mean, think about it. Think how many male dogs, this is gross to say, but how many females one male dog can impregnate in 30 days. I mean, it's just not worth it. And I agree with James. Actually, John Drollinger was the one who would, that was with Dr. Mitchell being him, he would take them in, you know, at the drop of a hat and have them spayed or neutered. They were going out. The doctor would pick them up at the vet's office and pay the vet bill. And that's how they left being spayed or neutered. One more thing I forgot to say earlier. I'm working with a family who has 9 dogs that is wanting to bring them into animal control. They're strays, and they can't come in. And it's a mama dog, it's a husband, wife, and children, and an older child. That's how we build them. It's a mom dog, the father dog, we think. He's part of the family, so he gets to come too and gets rescued at the same time. They have 6 puppies, and an older pup is with them. And they've already called and been turned down, rightfully so, because they're jam full over there. But that's what we're getting. We're getting a backup, not only at the facility, but also out in the community. So.
And again, I'm not saying this to be smart, it's just because I don't know, but Libby was saying something just a minute ago, that was it Walker County? I mean, they're overcrowded.
Oh yeah,
So
most
this is
places
not-
are.
It's not just us.
We are not unique.
Okay.
We are definitely not unique.
That was a big question of mine,
Mm.
if we were unique in that situation, or if it was kind of a thing, because as we have called around and talked to some, you know, I think during the COVID days, everybody's like, hey, let's go get a pet. And I think you mentioned that.
Yeah,
And
that's
now
probably
all of a sudden, it's like,
contributing.
yeah, we're going back to work, we don't, you know,
Yeah, we do.
okay. So as long as,
We're not unique
long
in
as I know-
that, but let's be the best
but,
one.
no, I believe
You know, I want, because Gilmer's rolling all the time.
Yeah.
They had a transport last weekend, and they were set to go Monday to South Florida. Now, those might have been my partners. And, but we were putting some Fannin dogs on there. Likewise, we had somewhere in the Fannin bin, it would be nice if we put some Gilmer dogs, because they've hauled ours for a long time. Fannin County. So anyway, I'm not coming back up here again.
all right.
So, sorry, y'all, I'm so
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am.
I went by that, no, I don't wanna come up, I may be speaking out of order, but I went by the animal control today, and I've been by there several times going to the thing. These people are awesome. This woman right here goes over there every morning, well, every 2 or 3 days a week, and walks those dogs, and I helped her today, and I cried for 2 hours, you know, the whole time I was over there. It's pitiful. Anybody just needs to take a walk through there and look at it. That's all I have to say.
Folks, I'd like to just say something, working with these 2 men over here. We want to move forward. We are looking at that regularly, all 3 of us. It's not that we don't want to move forward, it's that it's difficult. And when we move forward, it'll be the right thing and the right person, and all things have to come together. But we do want to move forward, and I think you guys can agree on that.
Yep.
That's all I got to say.
And it, yeah, I'll just say this, I get as frustrated as anybody, and I do. You know, I've been accused of giving lip service and not caring about the animals and stuff like that. And I wanna tell you, it's as frustrating for me as it is anybody. And y'all can believe that or not, that's just the truth. But I'd love to go out today and say, hey, we found a director who will lead us into that next century, get us caught up from 2 centuries ago. You dang right it would. It would please me, nothing would please me better than to be able to say that. And nothing would please me better than for you to see that, about how we try our best. I mean, I know you don't believe that, but you challenged me to go down there, James. I'd love for you to come up and sit with me for about a week. I'd love for you to. And I'll ask anybody, that wants to, please come up and sit with me for a whole week. You're more than welcome to, I promise.
I'll do it for 2 days and I'll set up an appointment.
Give me 3.
I asked for 2, but I'm gonna give 2.
All right, I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2, honestly. But there would be nothing that pleased me better to take care of this situation. I can honestly say that, Williams, believe it or not. And at this point, I don't care if you believe it or not. But I promise you, we're working to find that solution. And if this gentleman would have took it last time, I feel that would have been a solution. I feel that guy was the best, but again, everything happens for a reason. And I'm still a firm believer that the Lord hadn't sent us the right person yet to deal with this. Everything happens for a reason, whether it's good or bad. I'm a firm believer in that. And I get to the point where Lord, you put me in this position, and I'm like, do you have a sense of humor? Is that what it is? But no, he put me in this position for a reason. And it's to show you that we are working for this county. And I don't have an ego. We may have had some conversations that might have thought different, but I don't. I just want to get out here and work every day to prove some people wrong. That's what I want to do. And I hope you can see that one of these days. I hope that you can come to me and say, he was right.
One thing I can tell you is that I don't have the office, but I know Mr. Patterson, we're the same way with, everybody comes up to us and says this and that, but, one thing that I think that all of you can tell with the 2 years that we have been here together, we've tried to face every problem and take every problem, and we've tried to do what we think's right to solve those problems. This has been an ongoing problem. I know Jan's passion. I've known her all my life. She's family. I mean, I know what her passion is. I have the same thing. But what I'm saying about the board here is that the only problem with the decisions that's made here is that in government, sometimes it takes just a little bit longer time because of the governmental regulations that you have. We would like to do things quicker. Oh God, yeah, I would too. I'd like to solve it just like that, because that's how I like being about solving problems. But the issues that come to this desk or for these men here, we try to hit it head on. We try to solve them in the best way we can. Animal control has been and I see there's a need. There is a dire need in that, and we're trying to work that out. But it's not like hiring a cop or a fireman or an office holder, office secretary or something. It's hard to find the right person to come in here that's going to do what's right, and they got to be good. I mean, because that's an important position right there, animal control, and we want it to work. And I know the chairman, he does take a lot, and we do too. But we're trying to solve every problem that we have up front and openly. So, go ahead, ma'am.
I might be the only one, but I smell smoke.
I smell it, too. That's what we were just.
It's probably at mine.
That's what I'm thinking.
Probably coming from
It
upstairs.
smells like wood.
It's probably once I spoke to the
Yes, sir.
I knew it would happen.
Smells like somebody burned leaves.
Grab on the
Wood.
paper.
I didn't smell it till you mentioned it.
Oh, we didn't mention it.
Larry left, I thought it was Larry.
It might have been Larry smoking out of here, right? Anyone else? Public commentary? Anyone else? Okay, no close public commentary. Brings us to executive session, gentlemen. I need executive session for just a moment.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm looking at the door.
Sure, you want me to keep this or you go? Okay. I'm gonna try to remember.
All right, y'all wanna make a motion that we come out of executive session?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
While in executive session, we discussed property, no action taken. That being said, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
All in,
I'll second.
all right. All in favor?
Aye.